Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar CEE Animation experience. I'm really happy today that I'm joined by my friend and colleague Martin Vandas. And firstly, I would like to say a few words about him. As a producer, he has worked on a wide range of animated feature films, shorts, and also documentaries. He's been working in the animation industry over 20 years, and together with his wife, Alena, they are working on very beautiful projects. Some of them maybe you remember. I will try to mention a few of them. I'm sure that Martin will come back to them during his presentation. Last very famous and nicely executed feature film was The Crossing. Paint by oil painting on the glass, and also another feature film, Fritzi, The Revolutionary Tale, which was also very well distributed across the Europe. And now also we are heading the short film section. You may remember the Susie in the Garden, which was premiered at Berlinale last year, or for example, Daughter, shortlisted on Oscar awards and also received the Student Oscar. So Martin is now here to speak about the relationship between the producer and director. Each director is bringing his own creative input, and Martin is all the time trying to get together on the same vibes, let's say. He will tell you a bit more about this. If you are interested about Maur film, please visit the webpage maurfilm.com, and there you can find all the projects that Martin is working on. At the same time, I would like to thank our sponsors. We would like to highlight here our cooperation with Creative Europe Media and also the support from International Visegrad Farm. Thank you for the support and making this webinar also possible. So without further ado, let's try to dive into the presentation. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment here in the chat on Facebook, and we will try to come back to them either during the presentation or at the end of the session. So the floor is yours, Martin.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you. It's funny that when we talk about the topic with Marta and Maria, I chose the topic as the relation between the producer and director, because I think that it's the crucial part of our work and crucial topic in each project, especially from my experience. So first of all, we started to talk about something which keywords are suitable for this topic, and it's super funny that one of them it's also the communication, and this is why I'm starting with communication, is that Marta taught me the first part of my presentation when she introduced me so deeply that I can skip it, my first 3 or 4 slides about the Maur film. That means it's the good case how to build it and how to deeply communicate about the topics between us. The problem is my company was established in 2003. I have the mistaken presentation. That means that we have this year the 20 years anniversary. We did it 7 feature films. In the first period, I worked, and this is also the reason of the name of company, with Aurel Klimt. We established the company as the Martin and Aurel. That's the reason of the name. And we start with the 3 features based of the book Jan Werich, Film Forum. The first one was the omnibus of 5 fairy tales. Part of them was very old, from the end of 90s, but we put it together, and it was finally the first Czech feature film in the cinemas, with the pretty nice numbers results that we got nearly 150,000 viewers. Compare with the Shrek, was better than the first edition of the Shrek. during the years, we discovered as the situation changed, the opportunity to develop also the shorts film. The reason was that the fund opened the possibilities to finance the shorts. There was more opportunities for international cooperation. And I think that the shorts are the spicy for the animation. That's the essence. When you can taste it, the ideas, you can test it, directors, you can test it, the technologies, and also you can test it and approved your partnership. So for me, it's the short, one of the best way how to develop the relation with the director. And the last but not least, we developed also the 9 seasons of the scientific series called Neskreslená věda, which is co-production with the Academy of the Czech Science, promoted for the highlighted topic of science, contemporary science, and as you know, as I have it in slide, there is the 9th season in production now, and I think that we are over the 10 million viewers or 10 million views through the YouTube, which is such a pretty nice number for this kind of scientific, not easily, not commercial topic. As I said about the shorts are for me the kind of laboratory, but I discovered during my whole career that for the shorts, but not only of course for the feature film, it's more evident, but for the shorts, it's still more evident that it's also always necessary as the co-production. When we counted our co-production partner from the Europe, you see that it's now around 8 countries or 10 countries across the Europe, plus our strength, very, very powerful partner is the FAMU, because we started co-produced also some student movies, as Marta mentioned, The Daughter, but we did it also co-production with the other Czech film schools. And for us, it was not only the case of the scouting for the talents, but also the way how to involve for the production the young junior producers, which we gave them the chance to work under umbrella of our company, but with the big space for the freedom as the producer for the build it, establish the shooting, establish the financing, including the applications for the funds, and not only for the part of production, because I think that the role of producer is not ended with the final deliveries, but also for the distribution festival strategies. From these cases or from these labs, we established the relations with Zuzka Křivková. She produced The Daughter, Mária Moťovská. She produced with Maruška Urbánková her movies. We cooperate with Kamila Dohnalová, Jiří Pecinovský, and maybe just 2 other names from the Department of Production. For me, it's the big chance to show them the world of animation, give them the opportunity to try it, that the animation has a little bit different, not only in the topics, but also the different rhythm of the shooting. And I hope that some of them will be continue in their producing way in their professional career. As I said, the part of work producer, it's also the distribution strategy, which means not only, but means also the festivals and a lot of awards. We got Oscar nomination with the daughter, but we won a student Oscar. Daria has also the awards from the Annecy, Sundance, Hiroshima. Last award which we got was from the Monstra special mention for the Susie in the Garden, which is pretty fresh from the last weeks. And this is for me, it's kind of my topic I choose for this discussion or for this presentation. The case how we developed our relations with Lucia Sunková and how we started producing her first movies. Regularly, when you open or when you ask the Google, which parts of responsibilities are on the side of producer and director, the traditional point of view is that it's on the side of producer, it's mainly the economical responsibility, and on the side of producer, it's artistic responsibility, including the process of the shooting and post-production. From my point of view, producer is responsible also for the schedule, for the questions of time, for the responsibility for the partners. And now it starts mix the responsibilities between both of them, because I think that both of them selected together the crew, they cooperate in the casting, and from my point of view, the creative part of producer work, it's in the development of the script, also during the edit, and I think that producer, but still always as the partnership in the marketing and distribution with director, because I think that also the marketing and distributions could be counted as the creative process to bring it the fresh ideas how to promote it, the movies. About Lucia, she studied in FAMU in the years 1996, ended in 2002. With her master degree movie was Portrait, very successful festival movie, and she jumped to the professional career with her short one called Geranium, which was produced by the company Spinel Prague Production. It was in the early in the first decade of the 21st century, and it was surprisingly also co-production with the Czech TV and Krátký film company, and it was probably the era when Krátký film partly bankrupt, and now the studios are sold, but Czech TV also participate of some shorts. I think that they co-produced maybe one or two, and I heard that they developed the new platform for the students, which is called accumulator of the shorts, accumulator for the students. But in the first decade, it was like a dream to ask them for the co-production of short, especially because the possibilities of the distribution was very limited. After that, Lucia was pregnant. She left the professional career. She interrupted her professional career, and she moved back in 2009 with the one episode of the European Pexeso, which is the project which is produced by the Czech TV, and main author is the Daria Procházková, and she's like the good spirit of this seasons. I think that the European Pexeso has 2 seasons. After that, they established the new dedicated for the Czech region called Czech Pexeso, and in these times we met with the Michal Procházka, and he introduced us to Lucia as the very promising talent, and also he discovered for us the new way of animation, which was the oil paintings, which is the homeland for Lucia, or it is her typical technique. She did it with that technique, maybe 3 shorts during her studies, and also Geranium was done with the same technique. And in 2013, Michal came with idea. He met some French producers from the company La Maison Garage, and they developed for French television with the support from the funds and with the support from the CNC, the 10 shorts animated film dedicated to the French poet Aimé Césaire from the Martinique, and they proposed us to be part of this series. For us, was nice to work as the service company or coordinate as the producer, coordinate the work with Lucia. What was interesting that because it's the base of the poetry, we had to make the translation of the poetry, and for the 1 minute of the poetry, we had the meeting with the Czech translator, or originally he is French, and he spent with us, I remember still this meeting with him, it was maybe 4 hours discussion. What is the main topics? What is the reason of this poetry? What is the historical background of Aimé Césaire, etc., etc. And with this very intensive education from him, we started develop the animatic. The process of the approving was very simple. They watched the animatic storyboard and first drafts of animation, and we produced it probably during 1.5 months, this 1.5 minute long short movie. I will show you them. But because the budget was very limited, they permitted us, they gave us the rights to screen it, also movie in the Czech cinemas. We got the free rights for the Czech Republic. So we decided to make also the Czech version. And this is the funny story. When we looked for the narrator, we twice asked the other artists if they are able to help us and narrate it. And both of them, based off the reading the script, said, or reading the poetry, said, we don't understand. Sorry, we don't understand. And if we don't understand poetry, we are not able to narrate it. So as the other option was the Victor Prize, surprisingly, he said, no problem, I understood. But we arranged the meeting with him, show him the poetry. And when he came to the studio to narrate it, the voiceover, I have to say that he proposed it as 5th or 6th different version, how to narrate it, how to act it, the poetry, and brings the new value of the Czech version. And for that point, it was something like the first moment of the establishing of the partnership or friendship with him. He worked with us as the speaker for the other projects from that moment, and I'm really happy that he won the award yesterday as the best voice actor in the Czech Republic. Let me show you this movie for now.
Nepřichází v úvahu svěřit svět vrahům rozbřesku. Život, smrt, smrt, život. Zášeči a fackopači soumraku. Cesty visí na jejich krku stahovačů z kůže jako příliš nové boty. Nemůže jít o útěk. Jen cedule byly v noci odstraněny. A jinak. Koně nechali na zemi jen jejich vzteklé stopy. Šenichy namířené zhltanou krví. Tasení nožů spravedlnosti vdechnutých rohů. Upířích ptáků s celé rozpáleným zobákem nedbajících na zevnějšek. Ale také mňadrakující řeky a sladké tykve v dlaních milodarů. Nová dobrotivost nepřestává růst na obzoru. Aimé César, nová dobrotivost.
So this was our first contact with Lucie, first experience, work together. She produced it herself, all the animation, also backgrounds. And after that, she came to us with the idea for her art short movie called Strom, the tree, as the professional dedicated or targeted as the very lyric topic about the friendship or relationship between the father tree and son tree. Very metaphoric story. For us, it was the second relations with the French producers. We met with the Dora Benusilio and her company called Le Film des Arlequins. Lucia did it, script, art design, and she also worked as the animator. The shooting of the whole animation took probably 8 months, as I remember correctly, 8 or 9 months. We shoot it in the Anima studio, and I remember, and this is my comeback to the keywords. The moment when Lucie ended the editing, and she showed me the first version of the edit, that was probably 16 and a half minutes. And I proposed her to cut it more than 1.5, maybe 2 minutes. She tried it, and you can imagine what it means for the animator when you cut out the 1.5 minutes of animation. That means that you lost 1 month in the studio for nothing, that you lost it. Try to convince her to cut it a little bit more, but she was confident about that it's quite enough. So final cut was 14 minutes. I'm still thinking that it was for the discussion and maybe more friendly for the audience. We will be able to, if we was able to edit it a little bit more, but in the opposite, the movie worked with the audience. I show you again the teaser for that, and after that I will tell you more details about the distribution and work with it. When we completed, you saw from the teaser that it's without dialogues, very slow rhythm, very lyric story. From my point of view, it's advanced, that the dialogues are limited, and especially when you targeted the movie for the children. I can say that it's not only for the children, but we won the awards as the best animation from the Fantoche, for example, or Grand Prix from the Warsaw. I think that the power of story, it's in the atmosphere, in the growing up of the children, which the child grow up parallelly with the childish tree. And we decided that we could promote the movie not only in the cinema distribution, because we put it as with the other feature film to the regular cinema distribution, which means that we got maybe 20,000 viewers which they discovered the movie. And we invented also the way to promote it and distribute it movie as the exhibition in the site-specific areas. So we developed a special frame with the background lightning, which they more try to show the process of oil animation. That means that we had multiple frames for which looks as the movie. Truly, it's that it's not original images from the movie. They are reconstructed, because oil paintings animation means that you clean it all parts of movie, and finally you have only the BGs and the movie. So Lucia did it, the images again only for the exhibition. Based off that, we decided also do it the book, because I think that the images are very strong, very imaginative. We published also the special edition with the short movie on the DVD, with the special covering, and we did it also the successful crowdfunding campaign to publish the book and this DVD. And all these details are always about the deep cooperation with the director. Not only that you needed make some, for example, for the promotion, the videos, when the director has to promote it, you needed also the ideas how the book will be look. You needed to convince the director about the style of the cover for the DVD. And Lucia helped us also sorry, with the images, with the exhibition. Based off this, she moved completely back to her professional career, and she declared, or she was approved as the very skilled animator for the oil paintings. And we established through the tree also the relation with the Dora Benusilio, and she developed from 2008 the feature animated film based on this technique with the Florence Miai. This was finally the first feature animated film done by this technique. And Lucia was for French side something like stone or milestone or something confident that we have the enough animators, or we have some responsible who will be able to be head of animation in the studio, who will be able to lead it the whole shooting. It was not easy, because it was planned for the 18 months of shooting. We built it the special area, special studio with 5 stages. We tested maybe 12 or 13 animators. 5 of them plus 1 as the reserve was confirmed by Florence Miaille, and we go to the process. But for the Lucie, it was super difficult to animate it, partly discussed or communicated with the Florence. She was in the studio only in the part of shooting. She traveled between Czech, German, and French studio. That means that she was in Prague for example, for 3 weeks. After that, she moved to the other studio and she communicated with the animators only through the online platform. And I think that for Lucie was important experience, not only in the communication skills, but she was something in between the director and animators. She took responsibility for most of difficult shots, and the whole process was also difficult. That Florence developed the animatic, but she always asked for the big freedom of animators. I still remember that she always pushing them, don't worry about the style, you can be free. And in the opposite, many times she requested to keep it something in the visual, in the layouts. So it was not, for example, when you shoot it with the puppets, it's much easier to fix it, the visual style, than in oil paintings. The advance of the process was that we animated closed chapters. That means we did it 3 chapters from the 6th. It's nearly the 40% of the whole duration of the movie. And it's possible to a little bit changed, because it's also the coming age, growing up of the main characters, that they changed during the animation. In the middle of the shooting, we had the other experience, or this was before the start of the shooting. We did with Lucie the short social advertising for the company about the dying, about the hospice care, called The Way Home. And it was very interesting cooperation with the Czech journalist Ondřej Nezbeda, because he got the award, or he was supported by the Vodafone Foundation to work for this non-profit organization as the person for the creative marketing, promotion, PR. And he invented also the way to shoot it, this advertising. And he also convinced the sponsors from the Switzerland to put this advertising to the cinema, which is, I will show you that. That's very long. That's nearly also we did it 3 versions, 50, 30, and 20. And the longest one was screened in the cinemas in between the Coca-Cola or the very commercial advertising. And I will show you and tell you later my experience or the benefits from this experience.
Ani v té nejtěžší chvíli v tom nemusíte být sami. Mobilní hospic, cesta domů. Navštivte portál umírání.cz.
So for us was very strange and surprising experience when Ondřej convinced us that we keep it the claim dying.cz in the spot, and promoted these web pages for the home hospice care. Surprisingly, he has true, because it is super strong, super emotional, and when you see it in the cinema, you keep it in the mind, this web pages, and it could be helpful for you. So it was for us beautiful experience. We are not mainly in the advertisings, but sometimes we are doing that from the social or this kind of cooperation. as you see that we worked together with the Victor Prize again. It's again about the relationships, about the friendship, and it was also I think for Lucia and for us, the experience to work in the different kind of work when you have something like a request from the partner to deliver them this kind of advertising. And after that, Lucie came to us with the idea for the new short called Susie in the Garden. This was in 2017. We started to work on that. We did it as the co-production between Czech and Slovak. Lucie did it again, the script, BG's animation, and she animated during the COVID period, 9 months in the studio. For the introduction, let's see the teaser.
They call me Susie, and this is our garden.
So the experience of this project was super strange and super powerful to continue cooperate with Lucie, because she bring the book, we paid with our own money the rights for the book, we buy also the rights for the illustration to be sure that nobody will has the doubts about the plagiat or similar visual style. We hired the Martin Daniel as the dramaturgist, as he works from the United States, so it's one of the most expensive dramaturgists which we know. And we applied for the film fund in 2017. I don't know how much you know the process, but we got only the economic expertise, not the dramaturgic or content experts, and we was refused with the explication from the fund for some dramaturgy reason. We moved back to the script. We developed a little bit. We did not some big changes, but we did some changes in the animatic. We hired the second dramaturgist, Lucie Kajanková, and we applied for the second time for the production support in 2019, and we got. The budget was estimated for 3.6 million Czech crowns. We requested from the Czech fund for 30%, nearly 250,000, and we got the support in around 1 million. We counted with the co-production again with the Le Film Zarleken and with the Slovak, with the Superfilm. And during the shooting, because we had to start it, the Dora Benusilio sold her company to the other owner. She left it, and she said that she's not able to be part of co-production. So we tried to contact the other French producer from the Crossing, Luc from the XBO film from the Toulouse. She tried to apply for the local fund, but she didn't get. So finally, we got the support only from the Czech Film Fund and from the Slovak Film Fund. That means that you have to go to the whole process, to the whole schedule, to the whole salaries and all needs, and you have to reduce the budget to be able to did it whole movie. Reduced budget was nearly 110,000 euros. That means that we reduced nearly 30%. We did it the big in-kind and financial input from our and Slovak side. We put it all the equipment, the rent of the studio, but we fixed the fees of the authors. That means we took we reduced the salary of the producer, we reduced the producer fee, but not to took the money for the authors. And also it was the role of producer that I bring it to crew the Alexander Yashinsky as the music composer, and Lucie was super excited with this cooperation, and she took him to her new project now. What was for us very convincing, that was the selection, that movie was selected for the last year for the Berlinale, for the section kids. And during the Berlinale, we arranged the contract with the German distributor Magnetfilm. And the results from the last year are that we are in the French and Belgian cinema distribution, in the some site-specific or special Greece distribution, Taiwan TVs, and we negotiated about some selling rights to the other TVs. And now, last week was the movie screened also in the Czech TV. That means that they buy the rights for 2 years, as the which as for us for the symbolic money, but it's very good promotion of the movie, and also something like establishing the new possibilities cooperation with Czech TV. The movie was also much more successful in the awards. Lucie won the Zlín Oberhausen Award and many others. And I think that for her was also the based of the experience from the tree, that we did it more deep dramaturgy cooperation during the development process. That means when we ended the whole shooting, and we met in the edit room to talk about the editing, she was prepared to protect her movie against us, but she expected that we will ask her cut it again the 1.5 minutes, and we have only two remarks, one about the sound and one minimalistic edit of the whole movie. So from this, I have feeling that based of the long term knowing each of us, we established a very good relation, and we established also the big trust for cooperation in the movies. For Lucie, I think was also the good opportunity to move back to her professional career after maternity. She worked during the shooting. She worked also as the script or book writer. She published 2 or 3 herself book, but she established also the Beer Wilda as the magazine photo comic book in the magazine Puntík, and she illustrated also some books, including the Jiří Volker Castle and Orange. And now, after 1 year or 2 years of development, she is in the production of the bedtime stories with the Czech TV and Kuli Films, Radim Procházka company, which is called Vicky the Sleepy by Owl. And the first episode, it's now in the Czech selection, Czech Horizon in the Anifil, or Czech Promising. And the whole series will be screened in 2024. And this is also about the relations that the music will be done by Alexander Yashinsky again. And that all this presentation brings me to the keywords which I looked and I put them inside my presentation, which relations or which words are able to discover and which are important for me for the relation between the producer and director. This is and because we are talking about relation or partnership, I think that's always about the emotion. All these words are partly describing the emotionality, and they describing relation and something not countable. But for all of them, I think that it's possible to say that it's all these words are from the both sides. That means when we talk about the respect, that's the respect, my respect for the work, for the artistic point of view of the director, and he respect my work from, and he trusts that my comments are reasonable and trying to improve or make better script or visual style, etc. That's how I started my presentation, always about the communication, about the trust, about the longevity, responsibility, persistence, cooperation, and also sharing the same values. And again, about the respect. So I think that's, thank you.
Thank you, Martin, for such a great presentation. It was very inspiring for me, and I know you very well. So I hope that our viewers also found some key points and nice, maybe some parts to how to see differently also the relationship with the producer, how he can get involved in the whole process. And when I'm looking at your portfolio at Maur Film, there is so many different styles, different animation techniques. This is, I think, also an example of the creativity of a producer, that he's not afraid to go in any challenging new techniques and some innovation in the animation style, etc. And I know that you are traveling a lot, you are attending different markets, presentations, you are also teaching at FAMU in Prague. How do you choose the projects, the filmmakers, the directors? How do you feel when you see the pitch during, for example, 5 or 10 minutes? What's happening in your head, and what is the process of how you think that this can be maybe a good choice and a good way how to start?
I think that it's, from my point of view, it's some more points. One of them, it's some track record or previous work of the author. The second one, it's the topic of the story. That means I'm always during the pitching looking, and when I'm preparing to visit the all pitching forums, I go through the catalogs, and I'm trying to choosing which is about the values, about if it's the topic dramatic, or if it's nearby my values, if it's about something which interests me. Sometimes it's mixing of the technique. If I'm curious about the technique, that's also the way. But I'm always saying that the technique, it's the second thing. The first, it's the script and the way how to narrate. And I think that it's also the part of chemistry, part of some feelings that we have to spend together years, always. The development and the production took in animation years and years. That's the case of the Susie in the Garden, when we started in 2016 and the movie was done in 2022. It's 6 years long run, and for that you have to be in the same mood, in the same feeling also. So this is the 3 points which I always evaluated. That means that after the page, when I choose some topic, I need to talk with the author, talk about his point of view, about his expectation, about his, if he is open for some commentaries, if he is open for the changes or for the influence of the other co-producers. Because if we are decided to go to production, it means co-production. it means that the co-producers could has the different point of view for the topics, for example. So all these points are in the similar level for me to choose the new director or new project.
I think it was a very nice example that you used for to see the development also of the process. That's, for example, for one of the first project with Lucie, that you were at the point to ask her to cut 1.5 minutes of animation, which is really very strong demand and request from producer, I think. And after, at the same time, after the next projects, that you had only 2 remarks, and you feel that you are going on the same way of thinking and how to produce. But I would say I'm sure that you were also facing, you are a creative producer, but you were also facing the question of money and financial and the budget that you have to respect. What is the moment after that you say the creativity needs to go behind, and now it's time to move ahead and to say, okay, now it's time to be like the producer who will say, okay, we have to respect also some questions, not only about the creativity and all the visual style that we want to all the time improve and work on it more and more.
It's the same like cutting 1.5 minutes. It's painful. Because you have to convince the director that the sources are limited. You have to convince them that we have some deadlines, mainly, especially in the case of international co-production. For example, with the Electra, we had our French partner close the contract with the Arte TV, with some terms, with some deadlines, with some deliveries, etc. And you have to respect it. Of course, always all the things are negotiable, but it's also about your trust, about your name, about your track record. If you are a serious partner, you are trying to keep it the terms, you are trying to keep it the deadlines, or inform your partners early as it's possible about the difficulties in the process of the shooting, to prepare them to postpone it, for example, the premiere. And if you have the good partnership with the director, he understood your reasons, he understood your situation, and he's able to go to the script and looking for some creative solution. For me, it's the best example experience with David Soukup when we shooted the film FAMU, and there was the scene in the garden, very complicated with the lot of glass buildings for the gardening or planting the flowers, and it was super difficult set building. One of the most difficult sets, very difficult for the shooting. And when we was under the pressure of the budget and time, and we talked with David about the situation, and he said, okay, give me 1 week to think about. And he came and switched it to the whole scene, to the gardens, which was done. And nobody except us knows or is able to discover that this scene miss it, or this set miss it from the shooting, and it's put it in the similar set, which is garden only. And this for me was super helpful solution, because we saved some money, we saved the time, we saved the difficulties with the shooting, with the mirroring in the lights, but without losing the quality of the script, without losing the narration, without losing the rhythm of the movie. So that's about the discussion. You try to explain it, the situation, you try to push it author for some solution, or propose it, what we can do. It's not only the question of the edit, it could be the question, how difficult could be animation, or if we have to make some amount of these BGs or less, or this is this kind of process, or it's also possible. You can decide that you keep it the money in the production budget, but you take it them from the marketing. You take it from the other chapter.
as you said, about discussion and respect to see other opinions and to see it from different point of view. I think which is very important to have a producer who's got also this process behind and to see what's how the animation, how the script, how the dramaturgy is growing up. And as you said, you know, for example, in the dubbing, that can be another person who can bring another points and insights and to see it completely different. So just not to be afraid to have feedbacks from other people and who are not involved in this year-long process of creation.
And that's again about these words, about the respect and trust, that they trust me, that I'm open mind for looking solution. And that's also about the communication. That means you can see some warranties during the shooting, that you have some delays, you have some difficulties, or you know which scenes will be difficult. On all these warranties, it's necessary to communicate, not in the moment when you are in the crossing and you have to decide it. It's much better to talk about during the whole process, during the shooting, during the preparation, during the development of the puppets, etc., to looking for the solution, because it's easiest to prepare for this solution during the process, not in the moment when you are in the corner and you don't have enough space and enough time to change its situation, or looking for the more money, because also looking for the more money takes time.
I think that now we are coming to the end. Maybe for the end of the presentation and of our webinar, if you can tell us what's ahead, what you are working on, what you are expecting in upcoming days, weeks, years, and what we can look forward to see in cinemas or at festivals.
The nearest by the end, the newest one will be the short one of Daria Kashcheeva, which was also the very interesting topic, and it could be the good masterclass for the Zuzka and her experience, how to produce under umbrella of company, how to produce the mixed student and professional, semi-professional movie, and produced 26 minutes of animation, which is super long. It's nearly by the TV special, with the difficult topics, with the actors. And we are selected for Annecy this year with Elektra. So I hope that I will see all the participants also there. The other one, we ended the animation with the Pavla Baštanová about the cow, which is the project produced by Mária Moťovská. It's the co-production between Czech and Switzerland. Very nice. And also there is the creative process. We are now in the middle of the sound post-production, and we involved again the Alexandria Shinsky to help us to change it something in the sound. We have omnibus of the 4th student shorts, which will be completed, I hope, during next month. The last one is the short one co-produced with PSEC Academy of Miroslav Ondříček, and the part of the other movie are in the festival track record now. That's the Betka Myšijevská and her movie Let It Blow, and Maria Urbánková, Mother Has Always True. That's these 2 movies are done. The second half of this quarter omnibus, it's in post-production. And we are in the middle of shooting of the feature film based on book Arnold Goldflam of Unwanted Things and People. We completed the shooting in Czech and Slovenian, and now we are nearly to start shooting of Slovak and French part. We had a meeting 2 weeks ago in Rennes, all producers. We watched the final version of Animatic, because the Animatic was in the process during the shooting of 2 episodes or 2 parts. So it's super creative and super experience, also super strange or interesting experience how to coordinate 4 directors, 4 producers in between, and developed the script in the process. And we hope that that the whole movie will be done in 2025.
Promising lineup. I invite everyone to visit your webpage and to go more into the details of all projects. Again, you can visit on maurfilm.com, and there you can find also the contacts for Martin. If you finally just realize that you've got there something to ask him, feel free to let us know, and we will forward the questions. So thank you very much for your attendance, for watching us. You can, of course, rewatch it once again if you want. We keep it online on our Facebook page. And now we are preparing already our next webinar, which will be at the end of April. So I invite you to follow our webpage with more information. Thank you again for being with us, and see you soon.
Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.